Well, it's not Professor Tim and Elaine, but it is Jonny Fairplay, Brent Walgamont, and we are joined by, hold your makeup, Jack Atkins.
Yo, what's going on, guys?
AKA Emily. Oh my God. So we started our negotiations for having you on the podcast weeks ago. I had seen the entire season, but when the negotiation began, I felt I was in love with you, and then I found out that you were Jack, and so it took that long to get you on the pod.
I could connect you with some other contacts, but yeah, no, it's been a work in progress. And honestly, as soon as you reached out to me, I was pumped. Huge Survivor fan, big fan of yours. So I was thrilled to eventually. I'm glad I'm finally on. It's been a whirlwind of the last few weeks, so that's why the logistics were a little up in the air. But I'm really pumped to finally be here with you and with Brent.
Absolutely. So two things right out of the gate. Number one, I just started a self-help podcast. It launched yesterday. It's helpnsfw.com. It's my friend Kendall Ratliff. We're not doctors. We're not trained professionals. We're just a couple assholes that are telling you to go out there and do one good thing a week. And it's fun. So check out Help NSFW. If you're looking for a new podcast, it's fun. But on one of the, so we wanted to stack them so that because it's summer, there's vacation, schedules are crazy. So we wanted to stack some before we actually, started dropping them. So we have a few in the can, and we have Omar from Give Kids the World. And I mentioned that you were coming on a future podcast. Who knows when, because of your insane schedule and the aftermath of freshly being on a show is a whirlwind. And he was like, I think you've met Jack. He was in Hearts of Reality. Have I?
I think I briefly met you, Johnny. I think it was 2019 Hearts of Reality, and at that point, I was like, I think I was freshly 19 years old. I was a kid there with big eyes, big dreams. I think I came up to you. I was like, "You're Jonny Fairplay. What's up?" And you're like, "Let's go, man." But yeah, it was a super short interaction. So. I'm sure I'm not surprised you don't remember, and no hard feelings there, but that was definitely hilarious. I definitely remember that. It was super funny. I also think we were both a little bit under the influence. So
2019 I was not.
No.
2019 I was not. Yeah. So
interesting.
Well, respect. But I mean, that was obviously it was at the I think it was at the
I was living on the high of being with all my reality friends, but I am wearing my Daniel Cannabis Club shirt. As of today, July 1st, 2021, the state of Virginia, marijuana is legal.
Oh, I did see you post about that.
I heard.
How crazy is that?
That's freaking nuts. We live a crazy time, man. I tell you.
Virginia would have never guessed. Oh,
I know, right?
Trust me. Can I get back on your record?
Dude, I remember. I am old enough to remember when Virginia was solidly in George W. Bush's camp. Like, it was like red as red could be. Like, it was voting Republican. And boy, the tide has turned as far as Virginia goes. It is pretty freaking liberal. It is not even purple anymore. I'd call it blue. And the fact that they legalized marijuana is amazing.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So, Jack, you're a big CBD guy.
I'm working with a company doing a little bit of a deal. It's called Sunday Scaries, but it's a good product. I mean, CBD it's not anything crazy, but it definitely helps mellow you out. And I'm not a huge weed guy myself, but props to everyone. Like, to me, it's like it should just be legal, It's like if cigarettes are legal, alcohol is legal, like weed's probably the least harmful of any of those. So, to each their own. Yeah. But yeah.
If I had to pick one of two things to be legal and illegal, if it's like weed and bourbon, I'm picking bourbon illegal. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how many rednecks you've met, but bourbon trumps weed when it comes to what a redneck should not have.
Well, true. Yeah. A lot more harm is going to be done with a little too much bourbon. A little too much weed, you're just falling asleep. So
yeah, I was going to say maybe a little too much fun, but definitely harm is potential.
Both. Yeah.
All right. So that was the first thing I wanted to talk about. The second thing, I heard a little birdie chirping prior to me watching The Circle season 2, and for the record, I love season 1. I thought season 1 was great. I've watched some of the UK version of The Circle. I've enjoyed it greatly. I really liked the first. I thought it was great. I thought the winner, I feel like Joey's probably a cool guy. I would probably get along with him. I've seen pictures of you guys on Instagram. Personally, I felt like Shuby was the uncrowned winner of season 1, and really would have been a better story going forward. I like that because I don't feel like we got a great Joey story as the winner.
That's fair. I mean, and I love Joey. I love Shuby. I actually just posted with Shuby.
Yep.
I think this goes into a lot of the structure of the circle, which I personally find issue with, and we can talk more about this in a few different capacities. But I think the way the circle works is that, especially as time goes on, I think people focus a lot more on voting tactically. And because of that, I don't think the best player's going to win very often. So season 1, Shubham, I think he was influencer 4 times, dominated the game. Joey played a great game too, but like you said, Shubham may have definitely been the most popular player, doesn't win. My season, I think you could definitely argue that Chloe is probably the most popular player. She doesn't win.
She is.
Yeah. And so obviously the winners are deserving their own right, but it's not like Survivor where I feel like the right person wins arguably 100% of the time, debatably like 80 or 90% of the time, right? Like you can pull out a few instances that are controversial, but at the end of the day, the way the jury is structured, like that's what the game is. It's not always right from my perspective or from your perspective.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's the structure. Now the structure of the circle is you want to be popular, but the most popular player doesn't always win because you could just vote tactically. And so to me, I love the circle. Like you said, there's been some great seasons, but I do think there's some things that they do need to work on. Yeah. And honestly, I think that extends a little bit to Netflix reality shows overall. Like Too Hot to Handle just started, for instance. And I think the whole idea of the show is a little bit contradictory, right? Like if everybody followed the rules of Too Hot to Handle, nobody would watch that show if nobody was hooking up. So it's like, what do you really want people to do?
Yeah. So I mean, like I feel like with Joey's story arc, like Joey getting the kiss from Randy Bananas, that's it. Like that's the end of his story arc. And I'm cool. Like he won his version of the circle by getting that kiss.
I think it's a little more complex than that, but I think Joey, from what I've seen and kind of what I felt, is he came into the show very overbearing. Like he says, "Yeah, buddy," 20 times in the first episode. And then as the show progresses, he becomes a lot more likable, a lot more wholesome. Yeah. So I guess that's an arc in a sense. But I do agree, like, I think especially with this show coming out as like a social network, social experiment sort of thing, having Shubham, who is the self-proclaimed like social media hater, winning would be a lot more interesting.
Yeah. I feel like you'd get a better winner if somehow going into the last episode, you're voting between 2. And then I think you get more honest votes.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
If they just could they so like again, so I'm just gonna full disclosure to the audience watching. I have not watched The Circle. I'm just like I watched like one episode. I didn't really care for it. I should probably pick it up again. Even when I knew Jack was gonna be on The Circle, like I didn't like I was like I'm gonna watch it, and then time gets away from you a bitch, and pretty soon I'm spoiled that shocker he didn't win. So like I'm like, oh bummer. Like if he won, I probably would have watched it, but now I know he loses. So like I don't really know how it goes as far as like the eliminations go. I know that like people are voted influencers and they determine who gets blocked or eliminated from the game. What I'm asking is, so like at the I know how the ending works at the final 5, like everybody votes and ranks people based on 1 to 5 or whatever many people are left in the game.
Yeah, but they take their votes.
Yeah, exactly. I know. That's what I was going to say. So is there a way they could continue eliminating people to get to like a final 3 or a final 2?
I think they could, but then you need to have some sort of jury structure where players that have been eliminated get to vote, and they don't really get to follow the game because once they're blocked, they're like they go not home, but they leave to like back to holding. The thing I did think maybe about a little bit is maybe you say anywhere between the final 5 and the final 3 is when the final votes are going to occur, but you don't tell them, so you go about it like an average rating, and then maybe you spring it on the players like, oh, this was actually the final rating, because then you're going to get more honest ratings. Because if you think you're voting for the influencers, you're going to be honest about like who you most want to be at the top of your list.
Yep.
For me, I voted tactically. I know Courtney voted tactically, which I think is like totally reasonable. Like I have no problem with people
That's
voting
the game as
tactically.
it stands.
I think more people should have voted tactically. But if everybody voted tactically, like I as John might have won, which would have been great for me. But as a viewer, I would have been like, that doesn't make any sense.
I was rooting for half of John. So, but going into the season, Birdie told me you got coached up and dressed by Bryce Isaiah.
So coached up, I don't know about coached up, but,
okay.
But he helped me with the work because as you know on Survivor, you can't wear like licensed clothing. So I needed a bunch of
brother.
Yeah, I needed a bunch of clothing that had no brands on it. And so he flew out to Chicago, partly to see me, partly to help me get the wardrobe set, partly to see Jatia, and helped me, pick out some clothes, which is always a process. But yeah, I definitely needed to get some work because a lot of the stuff I wear is like, just like a Nike t-shirt, and you can't wear that on the show. So you needed to, you had to switch it up.
So Kim, go ahead, Fairplay.
But so there was no, like, you guys, you didn't talk like how does TV work, or you didn't ask?
Oh, a little bit. He and I have been friends for a while, so I had heard like we did that event in South Africa, that like charity Survivor event.
Oh, but you were at that?
Yeah, that's how we met.
Oh my god, I was supposed to be at the one last year that was canceled.
Oh yeah. I heard about. Yeah, I was at the first one. It was super fun, and that's how we met and became friends. I started helping him with his podcast and whatnot. So obviously, like through him, and just like through a few other survivors that I'm somewhat cool with.
Who are you cool with, Jack?
So I mean, Spencer Bledsoe was in my fraternity, like not at the same time as me. And this is interesting information. So Spencer was in my fraternity at my school. Then obviously I was on the circle, and then I don't know if you guys have seen the season 41 leaks, but one of the players on season 41 is also currently in my fraternity. So it's a little bit absurd, like a little bit coincidental that so many people from my specific fraternity have been on reality.
What's the person's name from 41?
Xander.
Okay.
And he cannot confirm or deny these allegations, but
of course,
yeah.
Yes.
Sure, yeah.
But
what buff has he sent you pictures of him in?
No idea. It's between red and orange.
Yeah, it's not available on buff.com/survivor currently, I assume.
But yeah, so I know, and then obviously through the South Africa event, I also knew like Wendell, Ramona, Desi, Jill.
Was Matt Dyson out there?
Who?
Matt Dyson from Survivor Australia?
No, I don't think he was.
I think he was supposed to be on the
I think he was supposed to be on the one with you this next year.
Yeah, I do coverage of Australians. We're going back, since we're on Survivor hiatus and on our Patreon at adfree.nsfw.com. If you'd like to join us now, we're only on episode 4 of 2018 season with Matt Dyson, and so he got voted out first. And spoiler, sorry, I do that. I'm really
I do it all the time too.
Yeah,
like catch
spoiler
up,
afterwards.
catch up.
Just as good. So, but anyway, we're just like, this dude sucks. He's a fucking so anyway,
he's a tool.
He sent Zach Hacker like a 10-page dissertation about how we were wrong, and it's just like, yeah, we're doing a fucking podcast for entertainment. It's okay, get over it.
Yeah, it's okay, get over it. Thank you. That's what I say.
I'm sure you're fine.
That kind of collaborates those accusations. If you see this guy sucks, so he sends you a 10-page essay about it.
Totally, right? Like you're just proving their point. Jack, I want to talk to you. Go ahead.
Super quick. I gotta get this. So real quick, Matt says that his 2 favorite survivors of all time are Lex Vandenberg and me, and it would mean the world if we followed him on social media. And so I was like, well, come do my podcast, and I'll talk to Lex. So anyway, so he liked my Instagram, or follow or whatever. So I followed him back, and I scrolled all the way down. I mean, like probably like fucking 150 pictures, all the way down to the picture of him getting his torch put out, and that's the only one I liked. It made me feel so good inside.
Oh, that's brutal. That's hilarious, though. That's the
good
cost
shit.
of doing business, you know?
Yes. Gotta be able to take it on the chin.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. For those of you who have never watched it before, I met Jack when he was on Big Brother Columbus season 7. And let me tell you, he was a fucking star of that season. Like he ran that season from top to bottom. Got to the end, won't say how he did, but it was really, really cool to watch. And the thing about you along the way is I felt like you always had a plan about what you were doing. You felt like, and even if you didn't, you knew how to fake it in the diary room. You know, like you knew what to give the audience to let us grab onto you and know, okay, this is the guy who thinks he's too smart, or who thinks he's smarter than everybody else, who thinks he's going to play everybody else. And there was really nobody else on the show at that point who was saying those kind of things in the diary room, I feel like.
Yeah. I like that Big Brother Columbus get involved in this podcast because that's something I didn't really discuss enough. And that was a lot of fun. Absolutely. That was a super fun season. I thought, here's the thing. I've done a few of these live charity games. I'm actually doing the Live to Give one in Minnesota in a few weeks. Which
so
will be a
just
lot
to be
of fun.
clear, is there actual money involved? Like what is the deal?
There's money for charity. Well, the Big Brother Columbus, that did have a $500 prize.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the South Africa one, this Live to Give one, just for charity. I've raised some money for this one coming up, but I just love Survivor. So to me, it's like a little microcosm of the game. I'm on the famous. It's like fans versus favorites versus famous. So I'm on the famous tribe with some survivors, some amazing race players, Big Brother players.
What?
Yeah, it's going to be super fun.
What survivors are playing?
Aaron Meredith and Elaine Stott from Island of the Idols.
Hey.
So that'll be cool. But with Big Brother, so in any of these games, and Big Brother Columbus included, I definitely found myself trying to think 5 steps ahead, which honestly probably gets me in trouble sometimes more than it helps. Because or in the circle too, because I think sometimes I get so caught up in well, this needs to happen now for this to happen 3 rounds from now, and I get a little too caught up in making that specific thing happen rather than being a little bit more adaptable or going with the flow. But I do appreciate the support. I remember you showing support on Big Brother Columbus when that happened in that was the end of 2018 to end of 2019.
I came upon it late, but I definitely not many people at least in my universe had seen it up until that point.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just really fun discovering it because it was I mean, obviously,
it's a well done show.
It really is. They edited it really well. It's I think you guys taped it over 3 days or something.
Yeah.
And I felt like I lived and died with these people, and they're sitting there on the couch all together, and they're sitting there and they're eating their food as they're casting their votes and whatnot. It was just it was so. It felt like I was watching
a lot of
season
fun.
2 of Big Brother. Yeah, it was really fun. Yeah.
So
I felt like you had. This sounds like I'm kissing your ass, but I'm really not. I really felt like you had the chops. I really felt like you had the chops to do something great. You were one of the people that I felt like, maybe he's not going to end up on a reality show, probably not, but I feel like you're in the pool of eligible people that if somebody comes calling, you could do it. Whereas, everybody else on your cast, sorry, maybe Ame, but besides you and Ame, I didn't see anybody else going to be on a network show like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, for me, Survivor's always been the goal. I was introduced to the circle via my love of Survivor. So, if Jeff Probst or Jesse Tannenbaum want to give me a ring, I'm ready to rock. But yeah, I mean, I love doing stuff like that. I'm very excited for this event coming up that I'm going to be playing in.
Cool.
It's not only is it just kind of fun to sort of play the game at a small scale, but it's also just good to get away, get to nature, meet some new people. It's always a good time.
That's cool.
Excellent. As I'm sure you kind of experienced with Sequester. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a blast. Honestly, I never had more fun in my life. I'm really being real because I had my phone taken away from me. I was there for 8 days. And just living the game and breathing the game, and that's all that my life became, and that was so freaking fun. And I felt like I accomplished everything I wanted to do. I didn't fucking win, but that was the only thing I didn't accomplish that I wanted to do. Everything else I got out of what I wanted to put into that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. It's kind of like a mental reset a little bit.
Yeah. Do you feel like that out of the circle? Because I feel like you didn't win, but you did well enough where you weren't voted off right away, and so like you've got a story behind you, and
major
you.
character season 2. Like my so I watch it with my 13-year-old daughter Piper, and I'm thinking she's okay on the age restraints for this show.
Well, you know,
and Jack, she loved you. She comes there, she was just like, well. Your opening bio video, like who was it? Who was the first girl voted out?
Savannah? Well, Brian and then Savannah.
Yeah, Savannah. Like we both liked her on the intro bios. We're like, oh man, and then like as we said on the Big Brother podcast previously, it's like 18 seconds in, it's like, ooh, no, she's not gonna be good. And whereas you like you know, I knew the Bryce connection, so I was like, Piper, you know, he's friends with my friend Bryce, and she's like, yeah, not feeling it, Dad. and then like and then watching the show, she's like, I love Jack. Jack is awesome. And then the mannequin head challenge drops.
Yeah,
it was just like, this isn't going to be good. No. And I was just like, this could be great. And we were both right.
Well, yeah, it was not good for me. I think it was good for everybody else. So, but yeah, I appreciate that.
Television-wise, incredible.
Yeah, I mean, looking back on it, like it sucked from a gameplay standpoint, but that was like one of the highlights of the season, and I totally embraced that. And I will say,
I feel the same way. Yeah, about my elimination and how like narcissistic I was at the end, and the way I went out. Like I'm like that was just I got that way. You know,
I want good TV. So if I could provide good, it's exactly. Yeah. And I will say, especially during the season, I got a lot of flack for like my intro package, especially. Now, I don't really care to defend myself like that much, but I will say when we do those intro packages, we don't even know if we're on the show yet. So it's a lot of it is like, oh, you guys want me to say this? Like, all right, I'll say it. Like, this is how I'm going to get on the show. So yeah, so to me, like throughout casting, it was partly me wanting to be like very strategic villain almost, and also me wanting to like being like kind of a comedic relief. So until I really knew I was on the show, I amplified both of those elements like hardcore. So when I went into the game, by no means was I will say I was willing to do like what it took to win. And now I think the circle, I was a little disappointed because I don't think there's really as much like strategic maneuverability as something like Survivor. But by no means did I ever be like, oh, coming in, I want to be the biggest villain ever. Because there was that whole line where I was like, I'm down to go down as like the biggest villain in circle history. Like, I think that's very like it's the wording slightly different, but I think that's very different than saying like I want to be the biggest villain ever, because I didn't want to be the biggest villain. I was just like, if I need to stab someone in the back, like I'll do it. I don't care. Yeah. Okay. And so yeah, we didn't know we were on the show. So at that point, I was like, I'll say whatever. Yeah. And then as soon as I walk into my apartment, I'm like, I'm here. I'm good. I'm gonna do my own thing, and we'll be all right. Yeah.
I would do the same. I mean, like if anyone's just like, oh, well, Jonny Fairplay wouldn't go fuck yourself. You're fucking wrong. Jonny Fairplay will suck that dick until I'm on the show. And so I'm like, I'm on the show. You can't do nothing now.
Exactly. But yeah, I appreciate. Yeah.
Jack, I want to ask you, like, just the inside tea here, as much as you can give me. Like, how long until you knew you were on the show until you left for taping? Like, was it a long period? And like, what did you do when you found out you made it?
I'll tell you. Yeah, it's so it's a little bit different for everyone, right? Because they filmed season 2 and season 3 back to back.
Oh, wow.
So season 3 is already in the tank.
Already in the can. Okay.
And cool. I think they brought out everybody for both of those seasons kind of at the same time. And I think they also brought a few extra people that didn't make either, which if I was in that situation, I'd be really upset.
Mad.
But we filmed in October. And I think like they flew us out like the last couple of days of September. I think they told me like first week of September that I think they said like they want you on season 2. So that was like a good sign, because I'm sure for the people that didn't really make either season, maybe it was like, we're gonna fly you out and we'll see what happens. But they told me that. But one, they're all like until you're in the apartment, they're kind of like there's no guarantee. And then also I had this whole snafu of last summer, my passport got stolen. And so I wasn't able, I had to get, like, I didn't have a passport when they called me and told me that I was going to be in. So my passport came like 4 days before I had to fly out. So I got it.
Oh my God.
So they told me I was on, and at that point I was like, okay, great. But if I can't go because I don't have a passport because it got stolen, I'm gonna be so upset.
In the COVID era, it is not easy to get
no,
a passport.
it's not. And I had already gone and like tried to get a new one, but because of COVID, there was like no expedited. Yeah. There was like, so I think I went and got it, like ordered it like 6 weeks before I was supposed to leave, and they said it was gonna take like 6 to 8 weeks.
That's what I thought. So I read 6 to 12.
So that whole month I was like.
Oh my God, you can't even be happy because you're like it may not come.
Yeah. So
oh my God, I'm so sorry.
It all worked, No, it all worked out. But what I was pumped, but I was pumped for like 5 seconds. I was being like, all right, I need to get this passport. Or else.
So okay, but when you got the passport, how did you feel then?
Oh, I felt great. I felt
okay,
great.
Good.
But then also I was still kind of like the week before I flew out was like our college's orientation week, like you know what, like week, like like that's when the freshmen come to campus, like get well versed, but then everyone else kind of comes back and parties. And now because of COVID, it was much more mellow than usual. But I was also living at my fraternity during O week. So I was like, okay, if there's ever a time that I might get COVID, it might be right now. I was like, okay, now I need to make sure I don't get COVID. But it all worked out somehow. Like, thank God. Yeah. But I was definitely just stressed for sure. Yeah, but I found out, I guess to answer your question in like a simple way, I found out like about a month before, or like 3 or 4 weeks before I was supposed to fly out.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Right before I left for Survivor Fans versus Favorites, like they're like, you're on the like us. Do you have a passport? I'm just like, yeah. I was like, I think it probably needs to be renewed soon. They're like, okay, we'll go ahead and renew it. But we had like, weeks. It was no big deal. Mm-hmm. And so I renewed my passport and I got it, and sent it to them. And, we were good. All fine. And they called me up a week before we're about to leave. They're just like, Fairplay, did you look at your fucking passport? And I'm just like what? I mean, I got it. I sent it. And they're like, your name is misspelled on your fucking passport.
Oh my God.
Is that bad? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, apparently it's very, they're just like, oh, well, I mean, just do shit under that name. I mean, whatever. I mean, right? It's an ID, it's a government. Like, no, and so I had to call my local congressman. And
that's what I did too, to get mine quick.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
And so but this is non-COVID. So this was 4 days before I was supposed to leave. I drove to fucking DC. Fucking the congressman met me at the fucking front door, walked me into the thing in DC, redid my pet. They're like, it's going to be about 3 hours, and there was a strip club right around the corner. So I went there. It's called the Lot, if I'm not mistaken. and then
you got to kill time somehow.
I went back and picked up my passport.
Cool.
That's hilarious.
Thank you, Congressman Gould. Wow. You hooked me up.
Yeah, that's actually what I did. Minus the strip club.
Jack, does production tell you hey, talk to your congressman or something? I would never think to do that.
I know they didn't do that, but my dad just called them and figured it out. And
my stepdad did the same thing.
Yeah, shout out to my dad.
Wow.
But thank God, because if it weren't for that, I don't think I would have gotten it. To be honest with you.
Okay, cool.
How awesome is that?
So future reality TV show participants, if you need a passport, call your congressman.
Yeah, that's great advice.
Any help for reality TV, you call it. They're elected officials. That's what they're fucking.
Yeah, they'll give you strategic advice, everything.
Yes, they are the Bryce Isaiahs of Congress.
So, Jack, this is what I want to ask you. So
please.
I have a gist of what happened to you. Okay, you're a big character, people loved you, could have won the game, but then something happened to out you as Emily, or not as, obviously you were Emily, but something outed you as not Emily. something to do with makeup. So what the fuck happened at the end where you were like basically discovered by everybody? Is that what happened?
You're gonna love this, Brent.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Tell me what
basically,
happened.
life itself.
I want to hear
basically,
this.
there was a challenge introduced. Do you know Jonathan Van Ness from Queer Eye?
Yes, of course,
He was like the guest host. So he was like, okay, guys, today, this challenge, you guys have to make, like, we're providing you with a mannequin head and a bunch of like makeup and decorations, and you need to make a mannequin that looks like you. And for me, obviously, you was Emily, like my catfish, who was a college girl who would presumably know how to do makeup. Now,
Obviously.
I did not know how to do makeup, so I do this, and the whole time, honestly, at some points of the challenge, I'll tell you, I actually thought I was doing okay, and then I step back at the end, and I'm just like, I'm so screwed. It was just so bad. And then they air the results of the challenge, and Jonathan is like grading all of them, and he's like roasting the shit out of mine, and it cuts to all the other players being like, oh, this has to be a dude. Like, this is horrible.
I mean, it's just done so immediately. And it's so sad because like Jack at this point is like laying on the ground underneath pillows, and he's just like, just take it off the screen. Just please, just take it off the screen. And fast forward seconds later, it's still on the screen.
Yeah. And I knew I was screwed. And then
Waterworks.
Yeah.
Because it is so like my daughter's watching, and she was just like, this isn't fair. The producers screwed him. And I'm sitting there, I'm just like, I think they did. However, I would too. I mean, like, I'm making a television show. If I'm a producer,
it's what I signed up for. Like,
if I'm a producer, I'm doing like it was the greatest moment. Like in 2 seasons of US The Circle, I think it's the greatest moment in the history of the show.
That is high praise.
That's
awesome.
I don't want to toot my own. Well, it's not really tooting my own.
Go ahead.
It was all my mistakes. I do think it was like that was one of the prime, and it sucked to be like the butt end of it, but it also, even in terms of like after the show, like doing social media stuff, like it just helped me.
Oh yeah,
it was just something to talk about. So it was bad from a game standpoint, and it ruined my game. But then also I got a second chance right after that. Yeah. Now I don't know if that was pre-planned. I don't know if they like. I think
it was like, we're gonna fuck him because it's gonna be great TV, but we're gonna fucking give him another chance. So it's it all worked out. I made it to the finale. Like, it all worked out all right. Yeah. So,
excellent.
But it was a disaster. It was a disaster.
It was a disaster. And with that, let's take a quick. Maybe we will. Son of a bitch. Zach is so much better at this than me.
So hard to find good help, I had to tell you.
I know. What am I doing?
I don't know. What are you doing?
I don't know. I was trying to go to a quick commercial break.
They just legalized the weed today. Did you have to partake right away?
Listen, they just legalized weed. I don't know what it's going to do to you. I mean, like, has anyone ever done marijuana before? Is there, like, I don't even know.
Yeah, I'd like to, we should call it a concerned call. Reverse this right now, please.
Okay. Where is?
What are you looking? Are you trying to do the ads? Is that what you're trying to do?
I'm trying to.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
Give me like 30 seconds before you click them. Then if you find where the button is. Well, I don't know if you're just gonna like. Wait, I can keep vamping, but I want to get cut off in the middle of a sentence. So tell me when you think you found it.
Okay, well, you go ahead and vamp, and I'll look for the.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So what many of you probably don't know is that Jack and I played a game together about 2 weeks ago called Spotlight, which was done by some mutual friends of ours.
Oh yeah.
And it's a virtual game where through mechanisms of the game, you vote other people out. Obviously, I saw Jack there, and I was like, I'm so set. Like, I know he's like we're good with each other. And there was a moment in time where basically I laid it all out, and I was like, look, let's stick together. Let's vote these bitches out. And like, I just put it all out there on the table. And like, I really should have gone better than it did. These people should have given me the power, but they didn't do it. instead they were like, well, Brent, we like your idea, but how about we give this other girl the power? And that other girl got the power, and instead she went around and voted Jack out. So it was kind of my fault that Jack got voted out, but I felt really bad.
I liked where you were going, and yeah, it was just a little Zoom game. It was no big deal,
I know.
The logic. I was glad.
I'm so competitive.
Her logic though for taking me out, man. I was like, why did you take Brent down? What are you talking about? Like,
right?
She's like, I don't like being told what to do, and I'm like,
I'm literally like, okay, we're like, working together. Fuck these
I'm telling you, Brent, that you shouldn't be telling her what to. I was like, whatever.
Right?
I would go like drink with my friends, like
right. that was good.
It was funny though.
That was a good time, man.
Yeah, I mean,
you find the button yet?
I found the button.
Oh, okay.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come right back and talk more of The Circle with Jack / Emily and Brent and me, Jonny Fairplay. We'll be right back. Growing up, cereal is one of the best parts of being a kid, but I had to give it up because I realized it was full of sugar and junk that you really shouldn't eat. Now, I've been trying to cut down on carbs, sugar, and unhealthy food and realized I basically can't eat anything anymore. I've been drinking protein shakes and powders for years, but finally found a delicious way to get my protein before and after workouts. Now, we're all trying to eat better, but healthy breakfast doesn't have to be boring. Magic Spoon has the amazing flavors you'll love, but without all the bad stuff.
We're talking 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving. And there's only 140 calories a serving. This stuff's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb, and GMO-free. And we've got exciting news. Magic Spoon has released a super delicious new flavor, Birthday Cake. Birthday Cake Magic Spoon will be available in a special 5-pack for a limited time only, so get it now while you can. You can also do the Build Your Own box with available flavors to build your own custom bundle with cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, and cinnamon. If you're listening from Canada, Magic Spoon now ships there as well. Great news all around.
Go, Zach. It's your birthday. Go, Zach. It's your birthday. But also go to magicspoon.com/survivor to grab the new limited edition birthday cake or a custom bundle of cereal to try it today. Be sure to use our promo code SURVIVOR at checkout to save $5 off your order. This offer is now good anywhere in the US or Canada, but only when you use our code SURVIVOR at checkout.
And Magic Spoon is so confident in their products, it's backed by a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/survivor and use the code SURVIVOR to save $5. Thanks, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this episode.
Go, Zach. It's your birthday. This episode of Reality NSFW is sponsored by Blue Chew. Say it with us, Blue Chew. Blue Chew is making waves and bringing more confidence to the bedroom by offering chewable tablets that can help men get stronger and longer lasting erections. That's right, we're giving away super hard dicks.
Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. Blue Chew's tablets help men achieve harder, stronger erections to combat all forms of ED.
Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so no visits to the doctor offices, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. And it ships right to your door in a discreet package. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. And the best part, it's all done online.
Blue Chew's licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredient and strength for your prescription. Don't like swallowing pills? No problem here. Blue Chew's sildenafil and tadalafil tablets are chewable. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA and they prepare and ship direct, so it's cheaper than a pharmacy.
Hey, if you're looking to give that immunity idol to someone or you don't want to be voted out of a crater, don't worry, Blue Chew's got you covered. So if you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform, visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information.
And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use promo code SURVIVOR at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's Blue Chew, BLUECHEW.com, promo code SURVIVOR to receive your first month free. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast.
Those look pretty good. I might have to take a Blue Chew and attack one of those bowls of Magic Spoon.
There you go.
It's so funny being like. Go ahead. I almost talk over you, Fairplay. Go ahead.
I almost took a Blue Chew earlier because I thought I had a guest coming over. I'm so glad I didn't.
You got a busy schedule, Johnny.
But that's the magic of Blue Chew. You wait till last minute.
True, and they're chewable.
Is that how it works for real?
Oh yeah, it's like a Viagra that works like twice as fast.
Ooh.
Okay, cool. It was so funny. I was like, I don't think I've ever listened to that particular commercial before. Maybe I was like always been out of the room or something. But like, all I heard was like, we're serving hard dicks or something. I'm like,
we're giving out hashtag super hard dicks.
Super hard dicks. That's right. I'm like, what? Oh my god, this is not RJP.
Pay handling for the dicks.
Yeah, free hashtag super hard dicks with $5 shipping and handling.
Oh my god, Jack! In the interim, I went and looked up the Emily makeup challenge. Jonathan Van Ness shading you, saying like, Emily, this was a struggle. Like,
yeah, even the nice things he said were just like
not nice.
Yeah, passive aggressive. But we have since made amends. Jonathan and I are fine now.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
my daughter watched. She was so heartbroken. She was just like, "Dad, this is painful. This is so painful to watch."
Because you want to laugh and you kind of want to cry. Well, that's
Jack is literally crying. He's just like, "That's it. My game is over." And
I was also like laughing though because I was like, I know watching this back, I will be like, "This is hilarious," but also I just lost $100,000, so don't really know how to feel.
Right.
But yeah, I'm not. I was never mad at it. Like that's just, I think the circle is a little bit more produced than like Survivor and Big Brother.
So if you're a producer
mm-hmm.
and there's a Jeff / Imsley, do you do the same thing?
What do you mean? Like in Survivor?
No. Or sorry, in Circle. If you were a producer on the Circle and you saw your situation, wouldn't you do to you what the producers did to you?
Probably. I mean, it's not the most fair to me, but it's like it's good. If everybody else is gonna get a kick out of it, it's like that's that's what you saw.
Just to be clear, what you were saying, Jack, you feel like the Circle is a little bit more produced along the way. Is that what you mean? Like it's not like they have a set thing, or
maybe
they do, or
I feel like the Circle is a little bit more about entertainment than competition. Yep. I think Survivor is the epitome of a quality. It's like people call it the world's greatest game because it's an amazing competition. The Circle is obviously competitive, but it's also about being entertaining.
Jack, I would love to see you on Survivor. Really.
Thank you. I mean, we'll see it. Well, yeah, I would love to do some Survivor. I mean, obviously the Circle is a good competition, and obviously Survivor's very entertaining too. But I think a lot of the Circle is like the games that have there's no reward in these games. It's just silly games for people. Like the makeup challenge was kind of the most influential game. And it is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Survivor, say there's like someone who's deaf or like hard of hearing, they're not going to do a challenge where you have to like listen to things. Like that's, you know what I mean?
It was producer reactionary.
Yeah. I'm sure they devised that challenge once they knew I was playing.
Yeah.
But again, that's the show. I'm not, and then they gave me a second chance.
It's good, exactly. Yeah,
they gave me a second chance. I don't even know if the second chance was pre-planned. I don't know if the second chance was reactionary. I really don't know. But I have no like ill will towards anything like that. Like it wasn't the most.
Yeah.
It wasn't the most fair, but like that's the show. Like it.
Well, I was going to say that, like in the beginning of my reality TV watching career, I was like, everything has to be pre-planned from the beginning, so it's absolutely fair to everybody. But as I've grown older and I've seen more reality television, I'm kind of like whatever the producer needs to do, like within reason, like to just make sure there's a good product being produced. Like I'm generally on their side. That's why.
And
Go ahead.
In my case, I technically could have prepared a little bit better, but now I never thought I'd have to do like a physical makeup challenge in a game that is like
I've never even
online.
heard of that before.
Yeah,
No.
it's an online thing. You're in a room. They can't see you. They can't. You know, there's no physical.
I certainly should have brushed up on my makeup knowledge. But even if I had done that, it's like makeup's something girls learn for age. Like like when you're a girl and you're 11 years old, you don't immediately know how to do like quality makeup. But I could have done a serviceable job.
Yeah,
but
as sad as that was, the follow up to that was, like, what's your favorite makeup brand?
Oh yeah, and I butchered that too.
Like Acme,
Maybelline.
Crayola.
And then I made one up. I just made one up, and everybody was
and they're like, yeah, that's not a brand.
No, but
by the way, Jack, Fairplay, you're there's a little bit of an echo coming through.
It's not me, so someone's headphones aren't plugged.
Is that me?
Maybe. Jack, is it you?
Damn it! Should I unplug them and see how we're doing?
Yeah, go ahead, unplug them and then plug them back in. See if that works.
Is this better?
No, that's definitely not good. Now I'm hearing myself back. Wait, am I? Yes.
Hold on.
I just kept hearing some echoing.
I'm hearing echo too, but I'm all my shit's going through my speaker.
All right, is this fine enough or?
Yeah, I think it sounds good now. I don't hear it now.
Good now, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I hear nothing now. So thank you. Yeah.
All you, Jack. God.
I just unplugged them and plugged it back in, but sometimes that's the solution.
Okay. This is just like on the fucking circle.
Yeah, I ruined everything. I ruined everything.
But no, like as I said, as bad as the makeup thing was, Brent, to follow it, they're just like, what makeup brands do you wear? And Jack, I mean, beyond shit the bed. My daughter's 13, and she was just like, he doesn't know 2 makeup people.
I wouldn't either.
That's I should have prepared. Yeah. The thing is, honestly, I didn't prepare.
You don't think about stuff like that.
Our winner had a notebook and like shocked, like early in the show, our winner is a girl pretending to be a guy.
Yeah.
And she had a notebook of everything apparently. And like someone mentioned that like she said she was from
she was talking to me, I think, about sports.
You were talking about football.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned the Giants, and you're like, shame about so and so, and she's just like, oh fuck, and she flips and she's like, oh, New York Football Giants, blah blah, blah. and like had the answer. It's just like, holy.
Now, props to her from a strategic standpoint, but I just didn't do that because I was like, I just thought that's kind of boring,
Yeah.
Like if someone asks you a question, you open up your little encyclopedia.
I get it.
I think it's but it's I respect. I mean, that's why she did so well.
That's why she won.
I don't know if I realized I was allowed, or I think I did know I was allowed to bring like notes in, but I
wouldn't even think about that. Yeah,
but still, that's not. I mean, like, if I'm playing any reality competition vote out based game, I'm going in playing a reactionary game. I'm playing.
Me too. Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I'm not saying like, there's no way, even in the confines of the circle and potentially playing as a catfish, I just can't imagine myself with a notebook. Like, could you imagine Jonny Fairplay going, oh, what would Jonny Fairplay like? Go fuck himself.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's a little
fair play. I'm totally with you on that. Like, you have to like take these things as they come. That's the only way you can really play something like this. I mean, God bless her. She did fantastic and won. I guess that's great. But for my money and what I want and what my experience, I want my experience to be, I feel like you have to just have sort of a laissez-faire attitude, like Jack had, and just.
I could have done some more research prior. Now, if I played again, I don't think I'd bring a notebook in because it kind of is just counterintuitive to me.
You would definitely catfish, though, right?
I would do whatever.
I would always catfish. Like, you have more fun catfishing.
I think I could win being Jonny Fairplay. I honestly I think if Jonny Fairplay were asked to play the circle,
I think it's easier to be yourself.
I think he could potentially win, but it seems I would not enjoy being Jonny Fairplay playing the circle. Like I would like.
Me too. I would not enjoy being me.
I wouldn't want to do it.
I'd want to catfish.
Yeah.
No, I would have fun, and I would do like more research and really smooth out my role. but I wouldn't want to like have a notebook. I don't think.
Yeah.
Okay.
If they do like the Circle All Stars, if you go in as Jack, like I don't want to see Jack. I mean, like, I love Jack, but I want to see what Jack can do as someone else.
Yeah, that's actually interesting to bring up, like Circle All Stars, because I've wondered, like, I feel like it's inevitable.
How can you do that?
How do you do that? Because even if even you have some people catfishing, some people being themselves, how do you stop people from pregame?
Everyone has to be a catfish, and well, no, I guess in an all-star format, you have to have enough. Here's my idea: if you have to have enough seasons to draw from, and everyone is either themselves, or if they are a catfish, they're a catfish of someone else.
Yeah, like another all-star.
So like you can go in as Shuby.
Yeah, but the big, I think that's reasonable. But the big problem to me is like, what if they'd obviously put strict preventative measures in place? But what if I'm like, oh hey Joey, are you going to be on the Circle All Stars? He's like, yeah, I'm playing as Shuby. It's like then that just ruins that.
Yeah. Well, no, but even if you don't do that, let's just say you go in as Shuby and Joey's there, and it's just like. And then you're in a private chat, and Joey's just like, "Hey, remember when we were in Barcelona? Yeah. Like, what did you have to drink that night?"
True.
Your game's fucked.
I honestly think now, as far I'm like I said, I'm more of like a Survivor Big Brother. I think a Circle All Stars in like a Big Brother format would be amazing TV. Like just you get Savannah and Terralisha in the same house. Like
I'm with that. I think the only way to do an All Stars is in a house together. The more I think about it,
and then it wouldn't really be the Circle, but
that's okay.
It would be entertaining.
So I mean, I was about to say like do it like the real or the challenge does All Stars on the streaming like Paramount platform, but fuck, Netflix is already streaming, so fuck it, get in the house, you're good.
Yeah. So I know Netflix is trying to introduce a lot more reality shows. I think I heard they're rebooting The Mole. I heard some other things.
Yes, so. I would love to play The Mole. Although I think I would do really terrible at it, but that's okay. I think I'd have fun.
Yeah.
So before we let you go, let's talk about some of the other competitors on your season of the Circle. Fucking Chloe.
Yeah.
Do you have her number?
I think so. I think it's a British number though. So
that's
texting,
fine.
We got the WhatsApp and the Instagram, everything like that. Why is this a?
I just want to marry her. Nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
Like stalk/marry, whatever she's into. I know.
Probably the latter.
Yeah, just
yeah. You hear on the show, she says a lot like, "When are we getting married?" So
yeah,
maybe you should have been out there.
Oh my god, seeing what I saw. So it rumored in your window based on like little tidbits of like camera angles and stuff. It looked as though she was talking to Mitchell afterwards.
Oh yeah, they've got some sort of romance going on still. I don't
really.
Yeah, I don't. Apparently they're dating, Johnny, but I don't. I think there's a lot of layers to that relationship, Johnny. But okay. I think both of them are great. I think, I could see them getting together because she's never been to America, and I heard she's trying to come soon. No, she hasn't. I could see. I think she's supposed to come out to LA at some point, and we'll see what happens with those two. But there's definitely something going on.
I would love her to come to Hearts Reality and make poor decisions.
Well, can I ask you before you go about the Big Brother cast that was released today? Do you have any thoughts on that?
I'm in no rush to head. I'm happy to talk Big Brother Survivor. Happy to talk about more of the Circle cast. So I looked over it a couple times. I didn't remember a whole lot.
That's cool.
I like. What do you want to? What do you just like? My initial.
Thoughts you have on any favorites?
It looks good. I mean, I'm not surprised because Jesse's now the head that it's a little bit more of a normal, ordinary group, which I think can be very good. Although they did have, they've got their classic hotties, but hopefully they're a little bit more
They seem a
He's
little
got
bit
a
more.
little more personality.
They seem a little bit more caricature-y. Like both Whitney and Travis are like hotties, so to speak, like that you would see on a normal season of Big Brother, but they seem like total caricatures.
It's a little weirder.
Yeah.
Well, so Barstool Sports does this like mockumentary series, and there was this one about basically like a guy who's too focused on getting girls and he forgets about his bros. And Travis was like the focal figure in that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've seen that, but it's hilarious. Now I think he's obviously playing into the joke a little bit, but it's literally just his boys being like, dude, you're way too focused on the girls. And like the interviewer's like, so what would you say like if you're at a pregame and there's too many guys? He'd be like, I'd be like, where the big booty Latina mommies at?
I know, right?
So I'm like, so I think now I heard he's been getting a lot of shit on Twitter for whatever reason or another.
Because he's sexist and he's a pig and he's like whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, listen, I was on this podcast an hour ago saying, thank God they put him on the show because I need a few villains in in reality.
Yeah, I think he might be hilarious.
Like everybody. Yeah,
I think he might be unintentionally hilarious.
Brent took a hot take and said, week 5, this is who America is going to be like.
I didn't even say America, like Twitter incarnate myself. Yeah. The people are very fickle in the Big Brother world. We're all kumbaya right now. We're like, okay, we're living for these people. We're living for these people. We like the way that they cast the season. Let's go. Travis, fuck off. Whitney, fuck off. But I guarantee you, if some big alliance forms and everything gets boring, and Travis is on the outside, like we're gonna be like, oh my God, Travis, please win HOH.
No, I think people jump to conclusions.
America's player, Travis, please.
Right?
Yeah,
it's not outside the realm of possibility.
Yeah. I don't think it is. People jump to conclusions about cast so quickly. So I'm excited to see. I liked Derek X stood out to me. I think I'll like him a lot.
I went the opposite on that
one. I think her name's Alyssa. She's like the first girl on the list. She looks pretty cool. Looks like a good cast. Compared to like the Survivor cast here that Jesse casted. I mean, I'm very excited for 41 and 42. Obviously,
did he cast 41 and 42?
Yeah, he's the head guy on those.
Good deal. But he cast Over the Top, Big Brother Over the Top, which was like literally one of my favorite seasons of Big Brother ever. Had a lot of like what I would call real people, like people like us, bitch. People like us.
Yeah, that's what he goes for. Yeah, that's the vibe that I'm getting from 41, 42, Big Brother 23, is it? So I'm excited. I'm excited to get some reality TV that I'm not in for a little bit.
That gig because. Well, I just hope he can.
I think he will. I think he will. I've picked up some good vibes about 41 and 42. So, I mean, I'm also just pumped to have Survivor back on the screen. I also think 41 and 42, from what I could tell, will be like a good reset compared to the last few seasons where there was just a lot like going on in terms of advantages, in terms of twists.
Oh yeah, like 41, we had the introduction, or 40, we had the introduction of the fire tokens, which Jeff explained to us would be a staple moving forward. And then, I'm pretty anti spoilers as far as the show because it makes for a shitty podcast. So I avoid all spoilers. I do know the winner of Big Brother 23, of course, but otherwise, no,
it's Travis.
Yes. Well, spoiler alert. We like to say it afterwards, of course. But yeah, I'm anti spoilers. But I did have to look at like I saw a thing. It was just like fire tokens on 41. I'm like, oh my God, please, dear God, you fucking. And they're like, no, they're like, in spite of what Prope said, they're not there.
Like,
no, everybody hated him. Like
I hated him too.
I thought there were elements of the fire tokens that
there were some sparks of good ideas there, but I did not like it as a staple.
It wasn't ransom. What would they do to Tony?
There was blackmail
basically.
Kirsten or I don't know, whatever.
There's a word they use.
Yeah. You've been I know what you're saying.
Anyway, he didn't even know what the word was.
It's like when the mafia comes in and
yeah. So anyway, and I'm just like, I'm like, this guy played a great fucking game. Extortion.
Yeah.
Extortion. It was so. This guy's playing a perfect fucking game, and a motherfucker that's voted out after the fucking merge. Like, as far
it's
as
weird.
as far as Edge of Extinction or anything like that, Second Chance, in that motherfucker at the merge. That's
True.
it.
I wouldn't mind Edge of Extinction at the merge.
Dude, Dalton told him that, dude. Dalton
Yes.
Dalton Ross from Entertainment Weekly fucking told Probst that. It's not like he doesn't fucking know.
Yeah, so just
He's like, okay.
I'm glad he finally listened though, because from what I could tell from like the cast leak and everything like that, I guess minor spoiler, it just looks like they're going a little bit more back to basics.
Yeah,
like there's no theme. It's just 18
go
normal.
out there and play Survivor.
Go out.
Hallelujah! What a concept.
So I'm excited for that. It should be good, and I'm glad the change of casting producer, how good they are, how good it'll be is yet to be determined. But I think to have a fresh start with a new casting producer, kind of a new direction in terms of twists and advantages and everything, I think will be very refreshing.
Cool.
Well, I mean, I say watch Australian Survivor and do everything they do because
Australian Survivor is fantastic.
So it's like I love it when like you look at the Survivor Facebook fan groups and they're just like, if Probst ever stops, like who should replace him? Should it be Boston Rob? Should it be Rob C? Should it be Colby? I'm like, motherfucker, it should be Jonathan LaPaglia.
Yeah,
he's a fucking stud. He fucking owns it. He lives in Los Angeles. That's
he does.
Yes.
I didn't even realize. I got to keep an eye out for him now.
He's friends with Probst.
Yeah, the Australian Survivor is fantastic.
Yeah, and
I've heard it is. I haven't watched it.
Like, you're talking about a fresh look on the game, like a change. I mean, hey, Jeff Probst, I love you. Stay on the show forever. It's fine. However, if you don't want to be on the show, Jonathan LaPaglia is the guy.
Okay,
he's
Sounds
gold.
like a win.
He's gold.
I'm sold.
Yeah. So. Anyway, all right. So getting back some of the other cast on the Circle season 2, Lee Swift, another catfish.
God, the best guy, the most pure guy on our season.
Like once again, my daughter watches the opening bio. She's like, oh, and then vote 1 is Savannah or no Bryant is first out, and we didn't.
He visits Lee,
and we didn't like him. And I mean, I'm sure he's a great guy, but he's a breather. He's a professional.
He's an interesting guy.
A professional breathe. He teaches people how to breathe. Brent, do you know how to breathe?
So do I know who?
Do you know how to
breathe?
Know
how to breathe?
How to breathe?
Yeah.
Apparently not.
Well, I think you do because you're alive. So maybe you don't need his services, and neither does anyone else. So
I was so thrown by the question.
Oh, trust me.
A lot of us were.
We were thrown when we saw his occupation. I assure you, same thing. So so we didn't like him, but we're watching Lee, and who ranked him to eliminate him, and he's crying. Like, and we're just like, how?
Same with Savannah. I mean, with Savannah, he said like, "Oh, I wanted Savannah to go, but it's just so sad."
Yeah.
Which I mean, I don't know how I feel about that, but Lee's definitely just a pure soul.
Just like you're sitting there watching, like I don't care what you thought in the first 2 seconds of the shitty bio, and this, for the record, you guys' opening bios are comparable to Big Brother's shitty fucking, hey, I'm a fucking textile worker. Oh my God, look at there across the line. There's a key. Am I really going to be on Big Brother? I'm just like, you didn't notice the fucking cameras?
Oh, I hope they're not that bad. But yeah. Lee's a great guy. And Lee is probably like the most enthusiastic in terms of maintaining his relationships with everybody from the cast, supporting everybody. So yeah, Lee's an awesome guy.
All right. Well, getting back to Chloe real quick. Do you think she's the greatest player in the history? I mean, like watching the show from a production standpoint, and I think as a fan standpoint, like oh my God, like what, like I can't do a fucking UK accent, but she's so overly excited about every fucking sentence that fucking goes across her fucking monitor that it's like, it's just like, I'm with you. I'm excited now too because she's so excited.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on. I guess it depends on your like willingness to get excited in any given moment. I don't know. It's definitely over the top, but that could be great sometimes, and that could probably be a little irksome sometimes. But I guess it's better to be over the top than not, you know.
Well, I mean, that's better than a fucking purple edit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know? So no, like we sat there watching, and Piper's just like, she goes, "Dad, this might be the greatest player in all of reality." Like just her excitement level, and she was like,
Yeah.
she goes, "Is there any material to her jean shorts?" And I'm like, "Just look the other way. Just look the other way." Like
How old is your girl?
13.
Okay, cool. Like I like yeah. So like totally. Like
The Circle's not a sexual show.
Dude, I was watching Dirty Dancing when I was like 9. So come on.
When I was, I think 6 or 8, my aunt took me to see Best Little Whorehouse in Texas at the theater.
Woohoo!
So
That's
there
good
you go.
television.
Go
it was
Dolly
it was a movie, but then it was on.
Chloe's a ball of energy though, which is I mean, it's a lot of, and on TV she obviously pops. She won the fan favorite. It's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what you want when you're watching reality. You'd rather be like, even if it's a little much sometimes, you'd rather be like, bam, like, wow, than just be like, all right, like,
a little over than a little under. Yep, totally.
Yeah.
So real quick before you go, just a couple more people. So anyone that's asked me about the Circle season 2, they're just like, Fairplay, what do you think? And I'm just like, let me preface it with, I loved the Circle season 1. I thought it was great. Fucking loved it. Season 2 better than season 1.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Better. Like no contest better. And I loved season 1. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And they're very different in terms of the
very
vibe.
Different.
Yeah.
Very almost two totally different shows. Which you know, evolution of the game. I love it. So, but I'm like, but no spoilers. But we're gonna spoil after this. But this is when people would ask me about the Circle season 2. I'm like, no spoilers. I'm like, Lance fucking Bass is on season 2. And they're like, are you serious? I'm like, it's Lance Bass. And they're like, how fucking cool is that?
He's kind of, yeah.
Yeah, it's Lance Bass's assistant, Brent.
Oh my gosh.
Catfishing as Lance Bass. And imagine all the personality and exuberance and fun that is Lance Bass that is missing from the person playing Lance Bass as you're watching the Circle. But when Jack is voted out, also Lance Bass is voted out, and they think they're going to see the person that they wanted to meet after being voted out. But no, they end up in an apartment together, and they're playing together as a person.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that joining of forces definitely boosted both of our characters a little bit, you know.
Okay.
Sure. Listen, I'm sure she's a great, pleasant individual.
She is, yeah.
Fair play.
But, I mean, I'm sure you think she's great, and she is great. So let's just preface it with that.
Okay.
You could pick any other character that could have, or a cast member that could have been voted out at that moment to go into the apartment with you to create John.
Yeah.
Who would you pick?
I assume like people that would have still been in the game. Yeah. And actually, I will say playing with Lisa was actually very good because I mean, we do get along well, but regardless of like how long I get well with people, she was very like, and I guess this is maybe a little bit natural to an assistant. She was very kind of let me steer things, which I like that a lot because obviously a lot of times you'll get in there with two big personalities and they might clash. But at that time, I guess who was left? Kat, Mitch, Courtney, Lee, Chloe, and Delisa. I think it would have been a lot of fun to play with Mitchell or Courtney. I think would have been fun just because I mean even here like right now like they're. From the whole cast, like Mitchell, Courtney, and Savannah are like the people that I spend the most time with.
Gotcha.
So maybe this is kind of like retroactive thinking, but since I know them so well now, it would have been fun to play with them.
I think you and Mitchell would have had a fucking field day in that fucking apartment.
Yeah, we would have had a lot of fun in there.
Like I mean, I think you guys played well, good, great, but like we didn't see fun from your apartment.
With me and Lisa?
Yeah.
Oh, we had fun. I mean,
yeah, but not like, I mean, just imagine
nothing like extraordinary, I guess. Like Mitchell and I probably would have just been popping off, but
yeah.
I mean, I honestly think I could have united with anybody at that point and been able to figure it out.
Yeah,
to the
I
best
agree.
of our ability.
But was John snake bit from the beginning with the fucking picture and the fucking bio? And
I don't know, because honestly, we played him very well. Like nobody was ever suspicious of him.
No.
We made it to the finale, which I mean, at that point, isn't anything insane, but definitely coming in late. Like it was going to be hard to win regardless.
Coming in that late,
unless everybody voted tactically. But part of me did think like people would vote tactically, and given the nature like of the final five, where it's us and then there's two very tight duos on both sides, I was thinking, maybe both duos rate their person number one, and then put the other duo at the bottom, and that would maybe put us like if we're everybody's number two, we're going to win the game. So I was hoping, that was something I thought about.
That's cool.
I mean, it's happened in the UK version where people come in late, get along with people, and then because everyone thinks that they don't really have a chance, they get rated well. So, but I was at that point, I felt like I was kind of playing with house money. So I was just having fun with it. And I think I really did a good job with the John character. Like, everybody liked him. Nobody thought he was a catfish. So it was a good time.
You played a lot looser.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As you said, the house money thing. Real quick, what'd you think of the Joker concept?
I didn't love it. I thought it was a fun twist to the game, but in terms of like fairness, I didn't like the fact that a blocked player is told to go visit someone that they think deserves to win, which is never like the case in the circle. And then the blocked player gets to give a player a very, very strong power just because they visited them. Like that, like Courtney he didn't really earn that power through anything of his own doing.
Right.
And then he gets a very strong power that it is entertaining to watch, but also pretty overpowered that not only he gets to go anonymous and fuck with people's games, and I was the game that he fucked with, so that probably makes me like it less, but also he picks the next influencer, which basically guarantees his safety for a round. It just because of what? Because the person that got blocked, was friends with you. I don't know.
That's kind of like extortion with the fire token.
Yeah, and honestly,
that's what it feels like too. Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, I
didn't like it.
The way I liked it from an entertainment perspective, but the way I approach the game is if I think someone's close to getting blocked, I'm gonna not spend time investing in my relationship with them. I didn't have a private conversation with Bryant. I didn't have a private conversation with Savannah, and I didn't have a private conversation with Terralisha, and those were the first three players that got blocked. And I did that intentionally, but because Courtney's best relationship is with someone that gets blocked, which theoretically is not very good for your game.
Now
you get
time on low hangers. How many private conversations are you allowed a day?
2, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to pick them wisely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And Courtney's hitting the low hanging fruit because no one else is talking to Courtney, and he gets this power because he's talking to them.
Yeah, and it's not like that black and white, but because obviously Savannah started the game off very strong, and they had a natural bond, but I steered away from Bryant because I thought he was going to go home pretty quickly, and then I had talked to Savannah in a couple group chats. Well, I mean, the balancing your conversations in the circle is that might be the most tactical element of the game, because you start the game off, and at the beginning of the game, seeing everybody, I was like, okay, Savannah's probably the person I'm going to get along best with. And I think she probably sees me in the same light. I thought Savannah liked me off the bat. So I was like, okay, it's kind of a waste if my first conversation's with her because she already likes me. Why didn't I go talk to someone that, I need to build my relationship with? And then it becomes this balance of I haven't talked to this person in 3 days. Should I circle back and talk to them, or should I solidify this new relationship a little bit more? that's honestly one of the more strategic elements of the game. And then also you can't always talk to exactly who you want to talk to.
Because they could be in another private chat.
Yeah, you kind of give the producers like a short list of who you'd like to talk to, and they do their best. And honestly, this kind of comes down to like hoping that your personal producer is going to push for you a little bit.
Wow.
So I felt like but I didn't talk to Courtney until like day 5 or 6. And so you guys saw when I talked, or you saw like when I talked to him, I was ready to, because I thought we'd get along.
Yeah.
I knew he was cool with Chloe. I knew he was cool with Lee, and those were kind of my main people. So I thought we were about to be good, but he'd already heard all this stuff from Savannah about me, and he immediately kind of just wrote me off. But I hadn't been able to talk to him. So yeah, it's just a lot to balance those conversations. I think the way I looked at it is I want to make sure I'm never at the bottom of anyone's list.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that if anyone in this game can be influencer, that they won't want to block me. But I also think there's merit to some people saying like, oh, let me really focus on these 1 or 2 people and they'll really have my back and I can really grow a strong connection with them. So there's a lot of ways to look at it in that sense.
And how long are the private chats that when you are allowed to, like 30 minutes, hour?
Probably like 30 minutes. You probably send like 6 messages each back and forth, but it takes a little bit longer just because of the nature of like, but they're short, they're fast.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So with that,
but again, I will say due to that, like I was saying earlier, the strategic agency is a little bit frustrating because like if you want to make a big move, you don't have very long conversations to do so, and you also can't reach out to everybody you might need to reach out to very fast. It might take days. Yeah. Whereas on Survivor, it could be 10 minutes before tribal. You get a group together, like, you know what, guys, let's flip the game, do this, and that's it.
Wow. See, I don't think most people watching think that, and I can tell you as a a player, I don't reality TV player. I don't like, it's just like, lead the horses, let's go. But yeah, can't if you can't talk to all the horses.
No, it's a very slow. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah.
Wow.
All right. So
well, good job, Jack.
Yeah. Thank you.
Make yourself proud.
Yeah. Greatest moment in the history of U.S.
all 2 seasons
of all time.
I appreciate it. Yeah,
it's pretty freaking.
No, it was a lot of fun, man, and just being a fan for so long, I was just so thrilled to get on and get a crack at it. So yeah.
Well, and also I didn't get to mention this, but so right after you apparently got kicked off, you went onto Instagram and you did like somebody would like send you a picture of a makeup item and you would have to name it and guess what it was. Like that. Oh yeah,
I did like a little video because there's like a filter on the Instagram stories that like shows a makeup product.
And you would be like, and there's one thing that came up and you're like, what the fuck? Like you're just it was the best.
No, time. I definitely leaned into it.
Yes, it was great. I loved that. That was really that's what I talk about when I lean into the curb on things that people like hate about you or want to make fun of you about, and people are so forgiving. Yeah.
Well, if you're I think it was actually a quote from one of the because in like one of the Big Brother players' bios, but it's like if you're the first one laughing, like then everyone else is just laughing with you. Whereas if you're all defensive about it, then it's like
I got that advice. Honestly, I did. I got that advice from Audrey Middleton on my season of Sequester when I knew my little speech was coming up. When I was eliminated from the show, and I knew how like it was gonna look really cringy and corny, and she was just like, "Bitch, just get out there and own that shit. Like own your shit, girl. This is what you preach." And I'm like, "Oh my god, you're so right." And I did it and like landed like just exactly like I wanted it to. So yeah, it's good advice.
Jack, where can everybody find you on social media?
So my Instagram is Jack Atkins 21. My TikTok is JAtkins21. And then I think pretty soon I'm going to start streaming like video games and whatnot. So
really? I thought you were going to your OnlyFans? Where is it?
No. So OnlyFans is just kidding.
Are you doing a collab with Ozzy?
Listen, bitch, that work is hard work.
Yeah, not just us, but we might get something going.
I did give Ozzy 1 month's worth of just on account, just research possibilities. Yeah.
How was it?
It was pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, I like watching Stray Boys in their natural element. It's fun.
Yeah, I respect it. I just I'm still in college and everything. I don't know if that would be the best
I know,
move for
I
me.
know. It's all cool. I know, man.
No, 100%. But yeah, I might start streaming on Twitch. So yeah, people follow my Instagram. That's kind of what the hub of everything that I'm up to. So, feel free to throw me a follow. But if not, it's whatever.
Yeah, dude. I don't know the way the world works. I know that like a lot of CBS properties share their stuff. So you being from a Netflix show, and I don't even know who the fuck owns that. Like how that works with as far as possibly getting onto Survivor. But if there's any way the universe can manifest it, we will see you on Survivor.
I appreciate that, guys. All the positive energy in that regard is welcome. And we'll see what I don't really know what to do. It's like I don't know if being on another show really helps me or it could really hurt me. But part of me just wants to find out because it's like, what, Jack? Like you're already on a show. We don't want, but because I'd honestly love to work for Survivor at some point if I can't be on it. So figuring that out, it would be a lot better than like hopelessly dreaming about it for years. So we'll see.
Cool.
But
I like it.
Worst case scenario, I'll battle you in South Africa.
Oh yeah, I'd be down to head back to South. I mean, it was beautiful there, Johnny. You're gonna love if and when that happens again. It's an absolute blast.
I'm ready for it. Jack, thank you so much.
You rock.
Everybody go follow him on social media.
Jack.
If you'd like to see me and Brent live, we're going to be at Saunders Brewing in Mason, Ohio, July 17th. Go to survivortix.com. That's survivortix.com. July 17th. Get your tickets now. Jack,
that sounds like a good time.
Get over there.
I'm gonna be in that Survivor charity game, right?
Yes.
I'll just put it out early, and then you head over. Brent, thank you so much. Follow Brent at One Lucky Gay. Spell out One Lucky Gay on Twitter, Instagram, and everywhere that there's something cool. And I'm at Jonny Fairplay. Thank you guys, and until next time, keep doing it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Breaking news! This important PSA is brought to you by Manscaped.com. This is your public service announcement and the news you've all been waiting for. The Manscaped engineering team has confirmed that they've successfully created the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, which is now available for purchase in the USA and Canada. This new trimmer was just released only moments ago, and we're one of the first to get our hands on it and share the news. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer just for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code SURVIVOR at manscaped.com.
I'm one of the first people to try the new 4.0, and I'm blown away by the performance. The craftsmanship and details on the 4.0 are next level. Their advanced ceramic blade and skin-safe technology is so good that it almost seems as if Manscaped worked with Elon Musk's engineers to ensure your testes are as safe as possible. Now, I've had my moments in the past where I tried to use the old disposable razor, tried to do some shaving. Oh my God, it looked like a 1980s NWA world title match. Ric Flair versus Dusty Rhodes wearing the Crimson Mask. Not anymore. No way, Jose. Oh my God, we're talking what makes this trimmer different than the other trimmers. It's a new multifunction on-off switch that can engage a travel lock, created for people who like to travel like me. I'm in Miami once a month for wrestling. I got Paola from 90 Day Fiance. She's not checking out my balls, but if she did, I would be ready. Now, we also have the Lawnmower 4.0 giving you the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. And the new trimmer allows you to customize your trim all over through additional guard links with sizes 1 through 4. And looks-wise, it's sleek with a two-tone matte and gloss finish. Even features a hot foil stamped black chrome Manscaped logo. Show that mower off loud and proud.
The optimized Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer is also waterproof, so you can groom in the shower and not have to worry about making a mess on your bathroom floor. Did I mention wireless charging? The Lawnmower 4.0's new wireless charging system uses electromagnetic induction, which can help battery length last longer. If you're still trimming your face with your ball trimmer, it's time to make some changes. So here you go. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code SURVIVOR at manscaped.com. No person wants to end up with pubes in their mouth, and your balls will thank you.
Get 20% off and free shipping with the promo code SURVIVOR. They love it when we do that at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. manscaped.com. Use that promo code SURVIVOR and unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.